recorded?
Yeah, okay, we're live now. Yeah, it'll go straight up on YouTube and Facebook. So usually I let it on for a while, maybe give it a minute or two, let people come in, and then usually we start. Man, what a crazy day, bro.
What's happened? What happened?
7 o'clock morning up, already doing quite a bit of work. And then suddenly there were rumors the PM was resigning or whatever. So everyone's on high alert. And I had to do the COVID-19 stats today. So I suspect it's kind of a ploy to get a lot of people to get traffic in their website. So they'll put a quick statement out at 2 o'clock, some stats. Then the next one will come around 6 something, 7. Then the last one will come around like an hour later. I don't understand why they don't do it all one shot. So I've realized it's to get traction. You see, like the health director already has 1 million followers. The website, the health website has 4.4 million followers. Oh, that's money,
they got to grip it out, right? Because you can't get everyone all the eyeballs or the ears on at the same time.
At one time. So if you have people constantly going on and checking it over and over and over again, you know, you're getting the views and the whole outreach, you know. And then give it 2 minutes. Apparently after 2 minutes you can start cursing, because I've been following my man Kwame Brown. You all know Kwame Brown, right?
Yeah, Kwame Brown.
Yeah. I love me some of the mama's cooking. I love Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown, every time he comes down, he's saying like, yo, I got to put it on, man. I can't curse for 2 minutes because some kind of algorithm. So I'm just following it. I don't know whether it's legit now, but Kwame cracks me up. Do you guys remember watching Kwame? I don't.
I do, man. I do. Small hands. He's got small hands. Can't catch the ball.
Hey man, that's a problem all us Asians have, man. Don't discriminate.
you agree with them, like calling him a flop and all that? You agree with that?
I mean, anyone who makes the NBA, I reckon, you know, you're 100 times better than me. So that's the thing. I think he was unfairly targeted, like, you know, straight out of high school, you know, playing for Michael Jordan. That's like so much pressure. So it's tough. It's tough.
He could ball, right? I mean, he can play because he had a long career, almost 10 years, 8 years at least.
Yeah.
Clubs keep signing him. So I mean, it can't be that bad. I'm listening to him. He's cracking me up with that country style talk. You know, okay, 2 minutes is up. He's cracking me up with that country style talk. So I'm like all in that grill. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm so happy today. I got Jason and Jeff. It's the first time me meeting Jeff. There's been a lot of shit going on. We spoke earlier. We don't really want to talk on trades, but what Jason just brought to my attention earlier was that little man Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, Jason, I got some time to check it just now. You're right. So the Portland and Toronto, he didn't want to go. So he was claiming that he's young. There's a word for it. I wrote here. There's a word for it. He called himself a young socialite, and he only wants to be in certain cities. So when you say he went missing, he has cut off all communication with the Phillies as well as Joel Embiid. And you're right. He did want to go to Golden State Warriors instead of Toronto Raptors. Now, I want to put it... First, I want to ask your opinion. What do you think of this guy? I think it's a punk bitch move. Jeff, can you talk to me, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I can sort of understand, you know. I can sort of understand why he just wants to go to... Is it Golden State? That's where the rumors are, right?
Yeah, he wants to go there.
He wants to go to Golden State.
That's where the rumors are. And, you know, who wouldn't want to go to Golden State and play with Steph and Clay? That's the thing, right? But, you know, whether that actually happens, I'm not sure. And you know, being in Golden State, you're in, you know, that's where a lot of people want to be if they're thinking about their sort of careers after basketball. You know, you're close to where all the techies are. I can see why.
Yeah, but like, shouldn't he be like... It's the same thing like Danny Schroeder, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Like, cool, this guy's worth has dropped tremendously.
Yeah.
How is this boy actually able to dictate terms on where he wants to and where he doesn't want to go? Because if he stays, do you think Doc will play him?
It's hard, right? Like after the last playoff, who'd want to play him, right? Like that's the whole thing, right? It was a wide open dunk and then he passed it up. He was too scared to shoot. You know, but that's the difference now. Is it like the players league or is it like an owners league, right? Without the players, you don't have a league. And he's still a superstar. But
he's a superstar.
Just can't shoot. He just can't shoot though, right? Like if he could shoot, right, he would be unbelievable. You just wouldn't be able to stop him, right?
Look, I'll give it up for Ben Simmons. He has the passing down pat. I think he's smooth. I still think Jokic is a way better passer. Doncic also maybe as well. LeBron also, I would rate him as a better passer than Ben Simmons. But you know what got me? I used to hear so much about Simmons being like Magic Johnson and all this shit. And all of a sudden, the guy is total crap. Can you recall an incident where somebody just drops his how to call it, his value just like
that far?
Yeah.
Apart from Jermaine O'Neal.
Hey man, Jermaine still got value even today.
You see the Netflix show? We get to that. Yeah. Have there been any other player like this or value just dropped so much? Can you recall?
No, I can't at all.
Yeah, this is a really weird situation, right? You've got a budding superstar, rookie Max. I think he's heralded as the second coming of LeBron if he gets a smooth J, and if he does, like he's a crazy player. But I think where he's probably going to get capped out at if he ever gets there is 15, 16 points, 8 and 8 or something like that, which is an incredible player overall. It's just he's incredibly inefficient at this point in time from a hesitation perspective, right? Key moments win the games. And that's what he let himself down recently.
Like you wouldn't put the ball in his hands in the last minute, right?
Not when it's close, right? If it's down to free throws, would you? I don't know if you would. Right? You just go hacker Simmons.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
But I mean, I think the big question for me is like, okay, he's got all this talent, right? Can he shoot? Like, can he learn to shoot at this stage of his career? Like, there are the stories where his I don't know if his dad or his coach when he was younger, they actually told him to shoot left-handed when he's a natural right-hander. Like, I don't understand that, but can that actually work at this stage to turn him into a right-hand shooter?
Look, you've got people with broken mechanics, right? And his mechanics isn't that bad. Like you look at Lonzo Ball's mechanics. It was actually how he shot it off on the side. It was actually quite bad, but he's improved. He's put in the work. He's done the hard yards, and he's actually improved his shot mechanics significantly. He did that in the off season. I just don't think his work ethic's there. That's what I doubt. But I mean, the brother's picking up what is it, 165 mil US.
Yeah.
So he's good. He's good.
You see, they all the way back to I checked a little bit just now, all the way back to 2018, just before a game he was caught partying. There has been, like you said, Jason, there's been a lot of criticism on this boy for not having focus on his craft. So if he's using terms like I want to be a young socialite, I want to hang out. We all know he had past relationship with the Kardashian girl, the young Kendall. He went out with Kendall, right? Okay, so I know he's been partying it up. Now Kendall's gone around basketball players like I don't know what to say. And now she's with Devin Booker, right?
Kid on a muffin, bro.
Man, it's crazy, bro. Everyone's sharing that shit. Yo, have a bite. Yo, you want some? And I'm like, now she's with Devin Booker, so we know he's partying. That's number one. And there was also another incident where he was live streaming on Twitch before games. So this tells me that this boy goes and practices. He's super talented. But once he's off the pitch, all the fucking distractions you can name are there. So if he doesn't want to put his mind in the right place and say go to a place like Raptors, where he can be number one guy, isn't it? Or what's the other state? Blazers. Okay, maybe I don't know. Replace Lillard. What do you all think, man? Have you all heard of this guy ever like staying back in the gym practicing like all the other top pros?
Not the Mamba mentality though. Not Mamba mentality, right? Yeah, I mean, if I had all that physical gifts, I would be doing everything I can, like just to be the number one. If I was like whatever, he's 6'10", that size, with that passing ability, I would be in there every single day. So
Jeff, I want to ask you something since your first time on the show. Who was your team growing up?
my team, I think, for everyone like sort of our age, it would have been the Bulls, right? Like just because of Michael Jordan. Yeah. Everyone growing up is the Bulls.
After the Bulls and the Jordan era was over, are you still supporting the Bulls now?
Yeah, now I just follow the whole NBA, right? I just follow the whole NBA. So after the Bulls, like I was a big Allen Iverson fan. So then the
Me
Philly,
too.
like, yeah. So it'd be
Yeah, I
that
love
era.
Allen Iverson.
You know, like the Kobe's, the Allen Iverson, the T-Max, that era was really good. So I love
It's a good era, man. It's a good
Yeah,
era.
That was your time.
Reminisce.
Because like because having not been born in America, I like to just follow a player that I like.
Yeah.
So of course Jordan, because back in Malaysia, back then you don't get a lot of sports
Yeah.
programs. You know, just Friday morning, one day, half an hour
Yeah.
of American sports. So I used to watch it all the time. And then after that, it was Allen Iverson. And then of course Kobe and Shaq came in. Hard not to like Shaq, but I kind of liked Tim Duncan too. I thought he was I don't know, he was just superb. He can always score so easily in the paint. And then after that, once LeBron came, I've been following LeBron all the way because I think as a human being, he's a good person. You know, he's good for the community. You know, unlike the other guys that are not bad, but I kind of like to follow LeBron. Okay, so you were that kind of okay, cool. So now, when they got Embiid into Philly, I thought they were actually legit contenders. I think this season, one of the problems that happened with them was having this guy, Steph's brother, Seth, have COVID. He was averaging 20 points and all that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like I had him in fantasy, you know. So now, if Philly is having so much issues with Ben, and give me one guess, where do you guys think he is? Is he in LA?
Ben?
Will he end up in LA? You mean Golden State?
In Los Angeles Lakers. I think that's what he's
I
trying
don't
to
think they
root
can
for.
afford him. I don't think the cap space works. I don't think they can trade for him. They haven't been in the discussions. It's been Golden State and Portland and Toronto. I don't know. I don't know that he's gonna. It's funny, right? You're getting paid 165 million. You go to your boss, not gonna rock up. Just not gonna rock up. But I like that paycheck every Tuesday. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, money wise, he said Jeff,
right?
For the next 4 years at least, he can sit in the bench and still make money. But Jeff, where do you think Ben Simmons should go?
Where he should go? Yeah, that's a good question, man. I reckon there's not that many. I think there's a difference between where he should go and where the teams actually want him, right? I think that's the thing. I think it's really hard. I think a lot of teams won't want him, and that's the thing. I know Portland, and so you sort of need a star to get him, right? And so if you're Portland, you got to trade Lillard. If he went to Toronto, I don't know who they'd trade for. I don't know who they'd give up there. I think for him, a place like Portland would be, it's a smaller market. It can be his team. He's got good shooters like CJ. That's where he needs to be. But being in Philly,
hard. In Portland, right? If they go trade Lillard, one of the draw cards with Lillard's, and it's in dual combinations, right? So you look at Steph and Clay as an example. Clay is so much better because of Steph, and vice versa. You take one of those two, and you look at their win shares, you look at their efficiency rates. These two are bona fide. Well, Steph at least is all-time great, top 3 point guard all time. His efficiency rating drops when Clay's off. You magnify that when you go take Lillard out. CJ's a great number 3. He's just a weak number 2, right? But you take him out, and all of a sudden, who else can shoot on that team? And you're zapping. It's a massive void, right? They're talking about moving Matisse out in the deal with Portland. I know if I was Portland, would if I could keep Lillard somehow and bring him on and then get rid of CJ, which I don't think Philly would do. That'd be interesting. But the other way around, I think, it's difficult. You'd put a good product out there. It'd be really interesting, but you wouldn't be contending, I don't think.
No, I mean that's the thing because Lillard wants to get out as well, right? He wants to get out of Portland. That's what
I
the
think
rumors
so
are.
too.
Well, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And there's been plenty of smoke. He's denied it, but there's a lot of smoke.
So I just don't think there's a lot of teams that Simmons can go to. I just don't think there will be at all.
There's been internal thoughts happening at Golden State, right? So what they wanted to do was move Wiggins and keep both Draymond and get Wiggins. What are your thoughts on that, lads?
No way get rid of Wiggins because I think Wiggins got a lot of upside. And then last season, they gave him a lot of time on the ball to shoot. So he's learned from those mistakes. And I want to put some stock in him being number one pick and that the fact that he can get better. Because I felt, stats-wise for fantasy, not so good. But for him personally, I think he had a good season. That's what I think, man.
Yeah, and you'd have to give up Wiggins. You'd have to give up Wiseman as well, I think.
Yeah, you'd have to give him...
And
you may have to give up some picks.
Yeah. But Wiseman's injured, but when the time he's been playing, he's good. You can tell, I
think the boy's got a lot of upside. Steph's 33?
34, 33, 5 years younger than LeBron, around there, yeah.
Clay's 32. Right, so their window is narrowing down.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Golden State, they've got one baby leg because they're trying to grow and cultivate the talent, which is great. And they've also got one leg which is still at the back end of the prime, but it's the window's shrinking. And so Golden State need to decide who they are and how they're going to win, if they're going to win. Are they going to contend now and be more focused, or are they going to do this, this dual strategy, which it's hard. It's hard to win. Have your cake and eat it too.
So that means most likely Simmons might just end up in Philly. You think?
It'd be funny. That'd be hilarious. It'd be good drama.
I really honestly think that's most likely the most likely scenario, unless something just gets a super shitty ass deal and then just take this fool out of there. Now, I want to.
Who do you think? Whose side are you on? You on Philly side or you on Simmons side?
Philly. I'm on Philly side.
Man. Philly side for sure. Like if you think about how many years they took, with the process, right, to get to the stage of getting two, awesome players in Embiid and Simmons, and then for it to end this way, it's it's crazy, right? Like how many years did the Philly fans lose, year after year for the draft? So it's just crazy.
Yeah, and even your coach can't even find the right words to say to you. They've been trying to get in touch with you. You're missing. So I guess you're being emotional now and saying that, hey, I don't think you all want me, so fuck you. I'm going to do my own shit, and I'll just find shit behind the back, but I'll make it hard for you to trade me because I don't want to go certain areas. Now, you are losing all your respect points here by doing this, and you are not on that same caliber as James Harden, but that fella did whatever the fuck he wanted, and he still ended up, Nets, which is, I think should be a lot of people's pick to win this season. So I believe Ben Simmons is not in Philly. I feel he might be somewhere in Los Angeles chilling. I think he really wants to play for LA, but I don't know how the fuck that's going to happen. And let's just close this Ben Simmons topic and see whether we come back to it. Now I want to talk about Dennis fucking Schroeder. Now, I couldn't believe this guy was asking for that for 30 million, close to 30 million a year. And he turned that thing down. And now it's getting 5.9. Now it's getting 5.9.
Yeah, 5.9 for one season.
For one season.
He turned down an extension, right? He turned an extension earlier this year.
He turned down an 84 mil 4-year extension.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. That's a bit of a rookie error.
Man, that's as hard as you can get rocked, man. That's like a fat kid. That's a fat kid fighting
his cake and his ice cream.
Anorexia, mate. That's tough.
He just starved to death like overnight. Yo, Did any of you ever rate Danny Schroeder as a 24 million, 25 million a year guy?
Because where was he before Lakers? Just remind me.
OKC.
OKC before that,
That
he
was
was
his
Atlanta,
break. That was
right?
his breakout. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he was at Atlanta before, and he was basically a bench player prior to that. It's
So I don't know where he got the
crazy
idea. He
amount of
was
money.
30 million is crazy, bro. I mean, you told me that. I was like, he's getting 30 million a year. I mean, 24 million a year for 4 years. And he actually said, I'm going to bank on myself, bro. Open market, I'm going to get 35. I'm going to get paid.
It's the same
24
level
million.
as yeah.
Sorry, what?
Look at all the point guards that got dealt or did deals this off season, right? You got Lowry.
Yeah, the Chris Paul. Is Chris Paul a point guard?
Chris Paul's different. But you got Lowry. You got Lowry in the 20s. Even DeRozan's not a point guard, but he went 4 for 85, didn't he? 4 for 85 to the Bulls.
I can't remember. I didn't check that. So
DeRozan's
what you're saying?
Much better player, right? A
DeRozan,
much better player than Schroeder. You also who else got it?
Yeah, he got 3 years, 85 million. DeRozan. Wow, with the Bulls. Wow.
Yeah,
it's almost 30, man. Damn. Holy crap!
Who else went this off season, point guard wise? Reggie Jackson. He came back. He only got like 12 mil or so.
Reggie Jackson is he old now? Let me just do a quick check. Let's see. Steph Curry, whatever. Doncic, Westbrook, Lillard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He had 175 million.
Yeah. He's an up and coming. He's a really good player.
4 years. Trae Young, 172 million. 5.
That's different. That's superstar status or
Superstar.
cusp.
Straight up. This guy, De'Aaron Fox. No, sorry, they signed last year. Forget it. Jamal Murray, previous year. Chris Paul, different level. Kyle Lowry, correct. 85 million, 3 years. Let me see for 2021. Lonzo. Jeff, I'm going to throw this to you, man. I don't know Jack all about Jello Ball.
Jello's the middle brother, right?
Who is this kid actually, bro? Talk to me, man. Who is this? I mean, he's a brother, but what is he doing?
Yeah, man. What's he doing? He's playing for the Charlotte Hornets in the Summer League now. So he's playing,
is he?
you know. Yeah.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
he's joined
Jello.
LaMelo.
Yeah, Jello Ball. So if you remember, like, I can't remember how many years ago, he was at UCLA, I think. And then they had a trip to China, the college team. But then he got busted stealing watches or something. Do you remember that?
Right.
And
Yeah,
so
I remember that.
He lost.
Trump got him.
Yeah, exactly. Trump had to save him and get him out of jail and all that type of stuff. So he lost. He lost his playing time. His stock, just plummeted. I don't even think he entered the draft. So
No, did he? No, he did. He entered the draft.
or maybe he got undrafted. Maybe undrafted then.
Yeah, he went undrafted. He went to Europe, didn't he? And he played in some league there.
Maybe Lithuania. Maybe he played in Lithuania.
Yeah, I think it was Lithuania. And then he didn't get a lot of playing time, or he had a beef with the coach, or at least his dad did, right? He goes, "You're not giving him enough playing time."
Yeah, I
then he
remember
went
that.
undrafted. But
now
these.
Yeah, so I think he's bounced around, and now he's with the Hornets, just on their summer league team.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, but like I've been watching some of the highlights, and he can play. He can play. Like he's a good shooter. He's got decent size. And like the Ball brothers. Yeah, he's not huge, but like if all three Ball brothers get to play in the NBA, I don't know any other family that's ever done that all at the same time, which is amazing.
Jello is what? Is he in his teens now, or is he 20, 21?
No, he's the middle brother.
Yeah, he's the middle brother. Yeah.
Middle brother. Oh, so he must be older than LaMelo.
Yeah. Older than LaMelo.
I honestly thought he was younger. Oh, so he's the middle brother, and
he's the middle brother. Yeah. So you might have Lonzo and Jello on the same team. Sorry, LaMelo. Yeah, LaMelo and Jello on the same team.
So why didn't Jello go into the draft? Huh?
Yeah, no, he did. But he didn't get drafted.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so
When
now he's getting
Lonzo
some.
was there, he was in the draft. He went into the draft year, and his dad wanted the Lakers to go and draft him as well, so he could have two brothers there. He went in, but he didn't get picked.
Oh, I think it'd be so. Now, Jeff, you're telling me that people are watching this boy, or you feel he's good, he's got caliber.
Yeah, I think so. I think the fact that LaMelo, obviously he's the star of the Hornets, right? He's got some sway, and there's a big chance that he'll be able to play with his brother, So it's like Giannis and all his brothers, like they're all in the league, and I'm sure Giannis, he has some sway in them coming in as well. So I definitely think he's someone to watch out for. He's just good catch and shooter. So, and that's what, I think that's the thing in NBA, right? If you're a good shooter, then you can go a long way. That's all you need to do.
Can I just ask you all really quickly, like back on Ben Simmons, would you put Ben Simmons in your fantasy pick this year?
No.
If say he goes to a place where he gets a lot of playing time, like Portland, just say he does end up there, lah. Just say, would you still?
Yeah.
Would you? No.
Only if you punt free throws, right? If you only punt free throws and points, that's the thing.
Yeah, it depends on what you need, right? And it depends on where he goes. He is a good player. I'm a finance guy. I'm all about the stats. It's for me, it's more stats than actual real playing ability at times, and how I view the team. So it comes down to what your team needs and what you want to do from that perspective.
So he won't be high up. He'll be later on.
No, he wouldn't be the first 3 rounds for me.
Yeah, because last time he used to go because of all those assists and whatever. I don't know what the fuck else
steals.
he contributed.
Well, I mean, his field goal percentage is pretty good, right? Because he dunks them all.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm honest. I never really paid much attention. Once in a while, I'll just see if it's a big game because they said he played well. I'll be like, oh, okay, 12 points. Always gets 11, 12, 15 assists. But I guess he's a late pick. He won't be in the thing now. There's one more thing I wanted to ask you all this now. I just remember then it just flashed past me. I had it there and it flashed me. Hang on. My man Klay Thompson. Now I love me some Klay. I think he's a super professional. I think he keeps his stuff very good. A lot of kids should emulate him. But let's just recap for whoever's watching this or whoever watches this. He tore his ACL Game 6, right? 2019. Final, the one where Durant also got fucked. And then last year, right, in November, he tore his Achilles. So he's 2 seasons out. Now I saw this when we were rostering for this year. I was thinking Durant with his Achilles heel problem you should stay the fuck away from him. Like you shouldn't even go close. But man, this MF came back with a bang, man. He's like fucking like nothing happened at all. Do you think Klay Thompson can do the same? Do you think he can come back and like maybe he won't be there at the start of the season? That's for sure. So he'll be on later on. But what do you think, man? You think he can get back to being like full Klay before he got injured this season? Not next.
Durant's he's the only player that I recall that's done it in the year he's actually come back and looked like he's not missed a beat, right? You look at all the other massive injuries, and they take at least a season to come back, right? You look at Paul George, he took a year to come back, and then the next year he looked like the older set. That's more so the trend for that. Who's that old Hawks player? Dominique. Dominique had a similar injury, and he was never really quite the same again. So Durant bucked the trend. That's not normal. I expect him to come back, but not to his full glory. But hopefully next season.
Yeah. So you think, Jeff?
Man, I have torn my Achilles, so I've been through it. So So it's one of those things like, and obviously me playing, just recreational basketball. I don't have trainers.
Don't underplay it, bro. We
all
played
the stuff.
Division 6B, didn't we?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Rec league. And like even just me, right? Like just coming back, other things start hurting. If that makes any sense. Like I did it on my right on my right leg, but then you sort of things like the left knee, starts aching, and so that's I don't think you can compare Clay at all to me. You're definitely not, but that's something that might have just happened with him, right? Like there's just an imbalance in the body. And I don't know when he's back, whether he's due back this season or sort of during the start of the next season. But I really hope he comes back because he's just one of those players that, you love to watch. I love to watch him. Yeah.
That thing you just mentioned about how while that was healing them, but later on other problems came. I was just watching the Vlad TV interview the other day with John Sally. So the full one was out. Now, John Sally, Vlad and John were talking about AD, okay, and how the Lakers season capitulated once AD's injury happened and he had to be out. And then, coming back was difficult because then he was complaining about thigh problems. So John Sally said this which I think most people know, but fuck it, I'm just going to say it. You got the injury on the leg, so when you try and come back, it's not as strong. So the stress is on your other parts of your body. Then when you fix the other parts of your body now, you're trying to compensate because you don't want to put too much pressure on that side. So you go to the other side. So now other parts start aching. So you went from the Achilles to the knee to the hamstrings and, hips and all that. So that's why they say if you take a long period to recover, it's best. But, when you're getting paid 40 million a year, I mean, ain't got no time to recover, bro. We need you right now, right here, because every season is because of a championship. So not much faith in that, huh?
No, and also it could just be it could be mental as well, right? Like you can't go as hard because you think, if I go harder, if I go for a dunk, I might injure something else. But I think the way Clay plays though, like he could just be a shooter. He could just be one of those guys that stands in the corner and shoots.
He can play for a long time. He's got a long career.
Yeah. So even if he's not back to where he was before, because he's a good two-way defender. His offense is off the charts, but he's a good defender as well. So that's why he's such a good player. But you're right. Like you don't want to waste Steph's remaining years. That's the thing, right? You've got two awesome shooters. You want them both back at in prime prime playing.
And I think if there was one thing to prioritize for Golden State, or if you could only choose between offense and defense this year, something that's probably going to go is the defense for Clay. If that's not going to be up to scratch, right? Maybe the following year that he has to go and try to go and get that back. But his shot's beautiful. It's quick, and it's just technically right. It's like my mid-J jumpers, Jeff.
Hey, do you think Golden State are in the reckoning for a title this year?
It's always about injuries, right? Like Steph was playing like MVP level for a good part of last season. I don't know what happened at the end, like whether they just ran out of time and couldn't get there, but like he was just playing out of this world for a bit. So I think whenever you've just got one superstar like that and you just, I think like they've still got a chance. And if they can stay healthy, definitely.
Who's your favorite, Jeff? Like
this year?
Right now. Yeah, this year. Which team?
Ooh, I don't know. Like I want to say Lakers. As just bust on paper, because they're really, I think they're a couple of shooters away from being a really, really awesome team. But again, it's health, right? AD's always injured. LeBron last year, it's just those things. Westbrook even now, like he's pretty injury prone. So
hamstring.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what everyone thinks, right? It's going to be Lakers Nets this year, but who knows?
Lakers, not bad. Jason, like based on what you're seeing so far,
I think on paper it's probably going to be the Nets for me. I think given health, that's a crazy big three, and it'll be exciting this year because they've had now a period of time to go and adjust, and hopefully they'll be all healthy. Heart, I want to go for the Lakers. I've never supported the Lakers, but Heart, I want to go get.
I don't know who the full, but whenever you've got I mean, I think that the challenge will be, he's pretty ball dominant, right? And then you've got LeBron as well. So who's going to be handling the ball? That's the one thing I don't know what's going to happen there. And like Westbrook is not, out of this world shooter. So that's going to be the challenge.
And LeBron doesn't want to sit out. He doesn't believe in load management, and rightfully so. I appreciate athletes like that. And so that means he's going to be playing a lot, probably be resting more. That dynamic, like in the paint, right? In the playoffs, right? Would you take Russell over LeBron now or AD?
In the paint, I think the key.
In the playoffs,
to win.
Playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs, I think for them to win the chip, AD's got to be the best player on either side, on either team. I think he's the key. LeBron will be LeBron. He'll be the top 3 player in the league. Westbrook, you can't really depend on in the playoffs. He's shown that. I love the guy, but it's got to be on AD. He's got to show that he's the best player on either side for them to win.
Jeff?
Yeah, I think you need like a player like I just see like Giannis last season. He just took it and he just wanted to win, right? And that's the I think mentality AD has to have. Like he just wants to win it and just dominate. And then like in the Nets, like you've got Durant who's sort of like that as well. So yeah, I totally agree because there's not many people that can match up to AD. That's the thing.
No, he's a problem for the Nets. He's a massive problem for the Nets.
If you can stay healthy. I also feel the key guy in the Lakers is AD, but even though I'm a LeBron fan, you would think just like in fantasy, right? I would pick a Laker, but it's so iffy. Like AD could be injured in the first 2-3 weeks, and then you find yourself way behind. LeBron is not scoring as much as he does, but still playing quite a bit. And yeah, Russell Westbrook will give you the triple doubles as usual this year. And I think I think the production won't be as much as last year in Washington because I know they made a last minute surge and then made the fucking playoffs, right? But I was like, yeah, okay, last minute surge made the playoff. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. But where the hell did he go again? He went to shit again. He went nowhere. So Russell got his personal.
I mean, I'm looking at this roster and like it's not a young team, right? Russell Westbrook 33, LeBron 37, Anthony Davis 29. So Taylor Horton Tucker, he's got potential, right? He's only 21. Kendrick Nunn, Carmelo 38, Trevor Ariza 37. So like it's not a young team at all. Dwight Howard 36.
I didn't realize Ariza is still playing, man.
Yeah, they just signed this year.
Still in the league.
Jack called last year. Like what? Kendrick Nunn, Jeff. What do you think of Kendrick Nunn? He was in Miami, right, last year?
Yeah, it was.
He was a 15-point a game scorer.
I thought he was in Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago. Sorry. My mistake.
No, you're probably right. Maybe he's bounced around a few times. I think
he's from Miami. I thought he was a 15-point game per scorer.
You rate him, bro? You guys rate him?
Watched him play. To be
me
honest.
too. It's like such a conundrum here. Like Lakers, who the fuck you bought, bro?
Here's an interesting one for you. Westbrook on other teams versus the team now, from a fantasy perspective, would you take him? Has his value increased? Despite production level will drop, there's no doubt he'll take less shots, but will his efficiency ratings increase?
I want to say, let me go first. I feel in the I'm trying to put stipulations for this. If I give you a straight answer, I think production will drop compared to last year because Washington had nobody there. That's what I feel. Straight answer.
Straight up. But would you take him overall? Does his overall package from a fantasy perspective increase?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's a good question because you love the assist 10 or 11. You love to see that.
I think love to see get that.
Yeah, and he was doing the rebounds
as well. Players to dish to, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So he got those two and the points easy. You just need 10 buckets.
The points I think will drop. It'll be interesting. I believe his efficiency rating will increase because of LeBron, right? LeBron
Okay.
gives you clear looks. You have to guard LeBron. You've got to guard AD. He'll get a lot of clear looks. It'll be interesting.
Okay, I will take him if whoever picks I wanted in the 5th round or maybe 6th round are not available.
Sure.
Then I will take him.
This is fantasy, right?
Yeah, fantasy.
Pure fantasy. Probably not for me. Probably not for me. Yeah. I just think, despite the, he'll have better efficiencies and everything, but I think, it's just, on the other teams he was on, like he did everything, like literally everything, like at OKC and when he was at the Wizards, apart from, passing to Beal. So like, he just won't have those opportunities now.
He just took all of it, yeah. Jason, you take him not in the earlier rounds like most people do.
I'd take him in the later rounds. I'd take him probably 6, 7 if he's there.
Yeah. Shit. That's
drop,
man. For a
drop.
$42 million per year player.
I know. And if you take him 7th round, our group has, let's just say the maximum 12 in that fantasy. That's 96. So he would be at the least the 96th player. Yeah. So there's 95 players above that you rate.
This is the disconnect between fantasy stats versus
real life,
versus
man.
Real life. He's a much better player than in fantasy.
Yeah.
Because of all the misses,
Draymond Green, right?
up.
Yeah.
Draymond Green.
Don't sleep on Greg Monroe, man.
I had Draymond Green I had Draymond Green 2 years ago, and then he was absolutely shit. Now I realize you got to get him for the rebounds and the defensive stats. But when
he scores like 8 points a game, man.
Yeah, it's rubbish, man. It's like someone told me that Robert Covington last year, and it was fucking stupid ass pick. I should have dropped him long time ago. It was rubbish. So yeah, I'm staying away from Draymond. But Russell, I feel I don't usually watch preseason. I feel the smart people watch preseason to see what kind of strategy they're playing with, whether Westbrook is spreading the play or LeBron is still spreading the play and Westbrook is scoring. So depending on the stats or whatever, like, I don't really think too much into it. I felt I think too much, I fuck up. I listen to people, I fuck up. So I'm going to do my own thing this year because I like to talk. I like to talk about it on a basis. I feel, if you ask me, in the beginning of the season, I think Russell is going to be nuts. Reason being, I think LeBron and AD are still injured. I don't think they're fully recovered. So I think this fella is going to go absolute crazy, batshit crazy in the beginning. If we watch the preseason games and they're playing preseason with like shitty ass teams who want to keep their best players and don't want the best players to play 48 preseason 30 minutes or play more minutes, then hard to tell. Really, man, hard to tell. Because I took DeAndre Ayton this year based on how he was last year. I mean, like you say, in real life, good player, but in fantasy, he was ass. It was 8 points, 16 rebounds. What the fuck? Last year, average 25 points, 15 rebounds, and whatever else.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm at. I feel early on, he might dominate, and then I don't know what's going to happen. So that's why I want to ask you guys watch preseason matches to help with your picks.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when all the teams they're all changing all the time, right? You need to see how they all gonna gel.
So from there, you all make your choices. Okay, I think does it always work out? Like how they play in preseason work out in the real season?
Probably not, though, right? Probably not because it's just
they don't play their best players, right? I think they're just going for a trot. I don't watch any of the preseason game. Well, I mean, I watched the highlights if there are highlights of the preseason games. But man, my one is I look at the stats and the numbers, agnostic of the player, and I roll from there. Yeah. And let me tell you, I've never won. But that's my jive, man. That's my jive. That's what I'm gonna keep doing. It's like the lotto numbers, man. You got to roll it. You got to throw it. One day it's gonna pay off.
Hopefully, yeah. Jeff, when was the last time you played this thing? Were you also just jump into it like us last year?
No. I've played every year since probably the last 10 years, but in a different league. In a different league, yeah.
Jeff's very keen, man. He's very keen. You should see Jeff's fadeaway jumper. It used to be really nice.
Yeah, man. Send me some videos. I put it up on the channel. I haven't done my opening and my fade and all that. If Jeff, your jumper is there, I'll do a fade. Boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
baby. Oh, baby.
Kobe is the Kobe.
I heard about the story. Embiid couldn't shoot for shit, and then he started when he wanted to like change his rhythm and all that. He started jumping and shooting Kobe, and then he started scoring.
Really?
I heard that story. One of the games, the commentators were talking about it. So anyway, guys, I think we pretty much covered all of you wanted to talk about today. I want to thank you all for coming and taking the time, man. I appreciate it, and we'll do more of this once we come close to fantasy. I get on a bit more. We'll get into this groove and find our groove, and things will be good.
Before we go, I want to see who your playing basketball style is closest to. So let's start off with you, Cousin Roy. Who would represent you in today's game?
Okay. Full disclosure, I only played basketball twice in my life. The first one was like for 15 minutes. The second one was like for 5 minutes. That's as much basketball as I've played. So if you compare who plays like me, I would say Kevin Hart.
It's a good pick. He's a good player. Jeff?
Man, I don't know. That's so hard. It's
Come
like
man.
it's who I've tried to copy. It's more like that.
Sure.
Man. If it is, it's got to be like Kobe for me.
It's got to be like Kobe, man.
Yeah.
It's got a killer. You know, when we used to play in the Division 6B, Jeff was one of our superstars. We had 3 superstars, and Jeff was one of the superstars. He was always super angry.
Really?
Always super angry. He always had the yellow mamba, man.
Hey,
That's one thing I respected about RJ.
Mamba mentality.
And when we were down like 30 points to the seniors team, they were like average 65, 66 years old. It'd be feed the yellow mamba, man.
Hey, do you still play now? Recreationally?
I haven't. I haven't played. I used to play in teams, but not after the injury. No, so not for me. So just shoot around now.
Just shoot around. Not even a shoot around.
Yeah, I shoot around. I can shoot around.
Yeah, that's right. Jason, you still up with the tennis, or still just playing something? No games these days.
I'm not playing games, but I shoot around every day or every second day. I'm just mucking around in the backyard.
So who will represent you?
I'm an undersized big. I'd be playing either power forward or center. I like to have a post-up game, but I travel too much. But I've improved that. So I reckon I'm a Greg Monroe, but with a mid-range jumper, mate. I'm a role player. I'm an energy guy. I know my job, and that's all I stick to. I don't try to play hero ball.
Baby Shaq.
Feed it to Jeff, mate. Let him take the last shot.
Dude, I love that, man. I think we all got our perfect fit. Anyway, thank you again for coming, man.
Adios,
I'll talk to you guys soon.
Take care.
See you later.
Ciao.
Stay there, guys.